All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anna High School, where the Paris Wildcats are getting ready for the regional semis against the Pinkston Vikings out of Dallas. I'm Stephen Johnston, joined alongside Alan Gooding, ready for an exciting matchup here tonight. The Paris Wildcats extremely familiar with the regional semifinal round. Over the course of the last decade or so, they've also reached the regional finals a time or two, but right now against a very good Pinkston team that comes out of maybe the best district in the state in 4A, it's going to be a challenge for these Paris Wildcats.
Yeah, don't let the record fool you. Pinkston, third in their district, and you're thinking, wow, we got a great draw. This team couldn't even finish in the top two in their district. This was a very, very tough district. Probably the best team in the state in the district, and one of the best teams in the state in Kimball is on the other side of this bracket, also out of that district. This will be a tough game. They can match up with Paris athletically, and Paris, every round gets tougher, but Paris is going to have a dogfight tonight, and this is going to be a tough game.
Absolutely, and for the Paris Wildcats, to get here, first they take down Community, and that game, pretty well start to finish, was the Paris Wildcats in full control. And then after that, you had Pine Tree in Texarkana, Texas High, and that game kind of started out a little bit back and forth. It was a good contest. Paris, about midway through the third quarter, got back-to-back dunks while they were up by double digits, and they just took off, and Pine Tree was never able to handle them after that point.
Yeah, they found another gear in that game. It's interesting, the crew that did the game from Texarkana Gameday did a great job. They've actually done, that was the second Paris game that they've done. They commented during that game, and rightly so, how well connected Paris was with one another. Played really well together, just looked like one of the best team efforts they had seen all year. And Paris did really play well. They were clicking, playing team basketball as they always do. It was a fun game to watch.
And you talk about them mentioning just being able to connect with one another. I want you to remember that this is a team that graduated 2 from a year ago. Otherwise, this was virtually what your team was a season ago, and this is the round that they went to. They ran into Dallas Carter and were down by 2 at halftime in that game one season ago. Fast forward, and Bob Adamson, Jadrian Henderson, Red Finch, who was on that team. These young men, Tyler Heath was a sophomore, now 1 year older, 1 year more mature, and 1 year better at basketball, and it has shown, and that's why the Paris Wildcats get the respect of being the 11th ranked team in the state of Texas.
Better at basketball and better at playing basketball with one another. And this team has been playing a lot together, practicing a lot together in the gym in the summer. These guys know each other about as well as a high school team can know each other.
Absolutely, and so with that said, we've got about a minute and a half until we are tipping off from here in Anna, and this is a beautiful high school, and I don't know if the coach from Pinkston necessarily knew this or not. Surely they know that Paris already played here earlier this year. A lot of teams, no, y'all played there. We don't really want to do that, blah, blah, blah. But also, this is where Tyler Heath and Coach Heath came from. Tyler Heath once went to Anna, and this is a gym that he shot a lot of basketballs in.
It makes a difference. It makes a big difference, especially a gym like this with a big background, a tall ceiling. If you're used to it, the goal looks a lot more comfortable, and that does make a big difference.
And so the buzzer sounds for the 1 minute warning. You've got Pinkston doing some final warm-ups. The Paris Wildcats over on their side, awaiting and ready. And we are awaiting and ready as well for tip-off here tonight between the Paris Wildcats and Pinkston Vikings. We mentioned the 11 ranking for Paris. Pinkston, in their own right, ranked 21st. And we said coming out of a really tough district, number 1, Dallas Carter, who won that district. Number 3, Dallas Kimball. who is awaiting in the next round. We would figure, now they've got to go take care of business against Quinlan Ford,
right,
but this game, the winner will advance to take on the winner of Kimball and Ford.
Yeah, you kind of see Kimball lurking out there, and that's the big dog on the block, and these teams are looking forward to trying to take him down.
And we will pause for the national anthem and have tip-off coming up. And with that said, they will call out the starting lineups, and we'll have tip-off here in the regional semifinals. Beautiful gym, and this is one thing that I absolutely love about playoff basketball is getting to see all of the different venues.
Yeah, I've been to the Texas High gym years ago, and it's the same gym. Beautiful place. The gym we were at in Sherman in the first round was amazing, and this is as equally as impressive. Wonderful facilities in Northeast Texas.
And calling out the lineup for the Paris Wildcats, it is the starting five that we have come to know for Paris. That includes Brandon Shores, Braden Savage, Jadrian Henderson, Keaton Bob Adamson, and of course, Tyler Heath.
Yeah, the rotation stays the same. The lineup stays the same. It's a familiar bunch.
Kevion Perkins is starter for Dallas Pinkston, followed by Larry Fight Jr., very good player for them. Stacy Johnson. You're also going to have Joshua Schalk, and then rounding out the lineup is Coleman Obi for the Pinkston Vikings.
Yeah, I don't have a height on Obi, but he's a big player, and Fight is listed at 6'4". Again, a lot of size for this team. They'll match up, especially up front. They're going to match up very well with Paris. It's going to be a challenge. The one apparent advantage you'd think Paris would have would be size in the backcourt. They're talented in the backcourt, Pinkston is, but their size is not quite what Paris is, and maybe that's an advantage that Coach Hales can take advantage of as the game progresses.
And of course, you're talking about Keaton Bop Adamson, and Bop listed at 5'11", and then Tyler Heath listed at 6'1". Brandon Shores, of course, 5'7", but that is more so going to be the guards for Pinkston. Is you've got a pair of kids that are around that same 5'7" mark, maybe another young man who's around 5'9". So like you said, a little bit of a size advantage, and we know how athletic Bop is.
Yeah, Bob can guard anybody. I believe he's bigger than 5'11" standing next to him, but that's what they've got him listed at. He's a great defender. All the Paris defenders are very skilled man-to-man on-the-ball defenders. I think they can handle this team, and it'll be fun to watch.
Obi against Henderson as we get ready for tip-off from here in Anna, and we are underway, and it'll go out of bounds. And they're going to say jump ball, and we'll go back to the center circle and do it again. I'm not sure when the last time I saw that would be, but and there it is, and it'll be taken by Pinkston, and right away to the rack, can't get it to go. And I think they're going to call a foul on Hendo, and that is a tough early one.
Yeah, especially with the size that Pinkston brings, you don't want Henderson to get in early foul trouble.
So Larry Fight is the young man for Pinkston that really sticks out to me.
Yes.
Watching them warm up, very good athlete as he puts Pinkston on the board first. But just watching him run, jump, dunk, shoot, all the things, you can tell that he is a very good basketball player.
Yeah, the free throw stroke, which you're seeing right now, very pure shooting, very nice release, good basketball player.
Second shot, off back iron, rebound goes over to Paris. Savage pulled it down, over to Hendo, to Heath, back
nice
to Hendo, right to the rim, and into the chest of Pinkston. They're gonna say good defense, and the Vikings come away with it. Dribble handoff into the corner, back to Fight. He's gonna put it on the deck and go. And this one, Savage fighting for it on the floor. And we're gonna have a jump ball that will go over to the Paris Wildcats.
Physical sequence. The referees, the early foul call against Hendo, but outside of that, they're letting him play a little bit.
It'll be Shores to inbound from the baseline for the Wildcats. Into Bop.
Pinkston pressing full court. I'm not sure I would do that against this Paris team, but that seems to be what the strategy they're going with.
And this ball is going to touch the sideline as that pass kind of caught in between Heath and the floor. One nothing Pinkston advantage early on. Ball has been kind of just rolling around loose on both ends of the floor.
Maybe a little nerves. Teams feeling each other out early.
Kick out. Johnson, he'll pull it from deep and gets it to go. Shores to Hendo, easily breaks it, and he will head to the free throw line.
That's what you want.
Absolutely.
Paris is at their best when Henderson and Adamson are going to the basket, and as much of that as you can get in this game, it's good for Paris.
And that foul is going to go against Johnson. First shot from Henderson off the mark. Paris still looking to get on the board. You can tell that you are going to see two similar styles of play as Hendo knocks down the second. Johnson bringing the ball up the court. Cross mid, guarded by Shores. Double screen at the top. Shores goes underneath, and then the dribble handoff, skip pass into the corner, and that three ball no good, and fighting for it, and it'll be a foul called against Fight. So right out of the gate, you've got the Wildcat big man Hendo with a foul, and the big man from Pinkston, Fight, getting his first, and he'll head to the bench.
I think if you're Coach Hales, you can live with those long threes. They've made 1 out of 2, but if they're going to be content to shoot those deep shots, you feel good about that.
Over to Bop. Bop attacking. To Heath for three. Got it.
Yeah.
Tie ball game.
Like you said, Stephen, he's familiar with the gym. It does make a difference. Good help defense.
And now a travel call.
Three ball and a good defensive sequence. Maybe that could shift the momentum here for Paris.
On the other end, Bop goes to Heath. He'll pull the trigger again. Got it!
We've seen it before. If Heath feels it, he can rattle off 5-6 in a row. He did it against Sulphur Springs. He's on his way tonight.
Pinkston rotating the ball around the perimeter. Johnson, guarded by Shores, moving to his left, putting it on the deck, and they're going to say and one. count the basket.
Johnson is tough. The ball is in his hands a lot with this Pinkston group. And he's very tough going to the basket. Very stocky, not very tall, but he's very well built, can take punishment, go to the basket, absorb contact, and score.
And just like that, we've got a tie ball game. It'll be Adamson bringing it up the court. And this time, Pinkston fell back into their defense instead of into a
little bit of a zone look.
And on the other side, they're going to get Braden Savage. So it seems like on the floor, they're letting them play. It's real physical.
Right.
When it comes to the rebounding aspect, we've seen some calls being made.
Quick whistles, yeah.
So that's kind of the adjustment that you have to make if you're either coach.
And the players get a feel for what the referee will let them do and won't. And especially players with experience. And Paris has a lot of experience.
Johnson, timeout Pinkston. We'll take a timeout with them. Tied up 7-7 from Anna High School. We will be right back here on Game Day.
Yay! We're so excited you decided to become a member.
Thanks, I didn't think it would be this easy.
I know. We've opened up memberships so even more people can take advantage of our amazing services.
Are you gonna clean this up?
Become a new member and take advantage of all RRCU can offer. Experience the credit union difference anytime, anywhere.
No, seriously, are you gonna clean this up?
Do you RRCU?
And we're back here on Game Day. We'd like to thank Regenesis Med Spa for sponsoring tonight's game here in the regional semifinals. And it will be Pinkston Johnson kicks out. Long three, way off the mark. Unable to handle the rebound. Pinkston comes up with a third opportunity. Triple on the way, no good. And a fourth opportunity. Hendo gets the block. But Pinkston continues to come up with it. Paris finally attacking on the other end. Here's Hendo driving to the hoop, fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. A lot of activity on that other side.
That's a good defensive sequence from Paris. Tough on the defensive boards, but again, Henderson going to the basket. That's a result every time that Coach Hales will take.
Hendo split his first free throws. This time, knocks down the first. Second attempt on the way, got them both. And that's going to be a key whenever you have an opportunity to get points at the stripe, because otherwise these two teams look pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, and that gets your shot going. You get a few going at the stripe, all of a sudden the 15-foot jump shot in the flow of the game feels better.
Pinkston on the other side. Only substitution they've been able to make thus far. Absolutely deflected, altered by Heath. And on the other side, you've got Adamson driving, and he will not be able to get it to go. Pinkston clears the board, but Red Finch checked in for Savage. And then a carry, or are they going to call a foul on Brandon Shores?
They got to reach on Shores running up his left side. I thought he carried it too.
And Coach Hales is asking for the carry as well. And now Pratt will check in. And that is the fourth team foul against the Paris Wildcats.
And again, this is what Paris brings that a lot of schools don't. You go 3-4 deep on the bench, there's not much of a drop-off, if any. And Pratt especially, one of the best players on the team coming off the bench.
Three ball from Pinkston, up and good, and they regain the lead. On the other side, Heath near midcourt.
running a 2-3 zone where they're coming out hard on it, but it's a zone.
Tyler got it
There's
to
a
go.
zone buster.
That is his third triple in the first quarter, and we've still got 3 minutes remaining.
The best way to beat a zone is to shoot him out of it, and Tyler Heath is doing it on his own right now.
Pass down to the baseline, guarded by Red. Red using that baseline as a defender, and oh my goodness, they're going to call. Let's see if this is against Hendo or against Red. It's against Red.
Number 0 for the Wildcats. Puts the line for 2 shots for Pinkston. Number 15, Jamari.
As tough as Pinkston is on the boards, apparently, Red Finch is going to be a very important player in this game. He's so good around the basket, just gets off the floor so quick. He's going to be important in rebounding for the Wildcats.
So Pinkston knocks down a couple to tie this thing back up, and that's how it's been virtually the entire first quarter. Looks like Pinkston's fallen into a zone. They started out man-to-man. Baseline jumper, no good. Red couldn't come up with the rebound. Johnson on the other end. Great defense from Pratt. Screen on the way. Got it off the backboard. Into the corner. Heath way off on that one. On the other side, triple coming for Pinkston. No good as well. And then this one on the deck, and they come up with it, and that's something Paris is gonna have to clean up, is coming away with loose balls and rebounding. And they're gonna say a foul against Tyler Heath on the 3. So a chance for a 4-point play. And I think Coach Hales wants a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
We're here at the biggest game of the year for the kickoff. And I say these local guys have no competition, John.
No doubt, Stephen. Why sweat in the press box?
When you can sit like a king.
And we got the best seats in the house right here, baby.
Where every seat is the best seat.
Oh, yeah. Texas Furniture and Appliance. Local since 1927.
These players are definitely in their comfort zone.
You say something?
And we're back here on Game Day. We would like to thank Quality Care ER, bringing us out here to Anna High School, sponsoring the Paris Wildcats. Thank you guys so very much. And it's going to be Israel Warren at the stripe for Pinkston with a 17-12 lead over Paris, and the free throw no good. Board cleared by Red Finch. Pratt on the other side, along with Finch, Hendo, Adamson, and Seven Reed, the freshman, checks into the game. Pratt puts on a move, spinning, driving, getting to the paint, and he will be fouled. And that'll be the 4th team foul against the Pinkston Vikings.
Paris is getting to the free throw line, but to this point, it's been the three-point shooting of Tyler Heath and free throws, and that's been the only offense Paris has been able to muster to this point. They've got to get the mid-range game going and get in those gaps of this zone.
They are not going to give Jason Pratt free throws.
I was surprised.
It certainly looked like he was shooting. As he's unable to connect there, and that's tough. On the other side, getting it to go. And Pinkston dominating the back end of this first quarter. Reed looking for somewhere to go and finds Adamson near midcourt. Pratt goes to Reed.
Inside out.
And no good, but saved by Red. And it will go over to the Vikings, and you know, it's unfortunate that finally you get a rebound in your hands and you're out of bounds. On the other side, Pratt guarding Johnson. Goes underneath the screen, passes off. Shot up, no good. Offensive rebound and a foul.
They're going to get red.
And now Savage will go to the scorer's table to check back in, but if Paris can't find a way to pull down some boards, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, you got to get a body on these guys. You know, blocking out is kind of a lost art in basketball these days. These guys are so athletic and can jump so well, but as a team that's got size comparable or better than Paris, they've got to block these guys out.
And excuse our touchpad as
nice pass.
Foul going to be called.
And this is going to be Henderson's third trip to the line, usually a good sign.
And thank goodness for those Tyler Heath three-pointers. As Hendo, first shot up and good. And that's the thing, I'm not so much concerned about the Pinkston lead right now as I am the ability to rebound. You start rebounding the ball, I fully believe that the offense can get going, your transition game can get going, and you can find yourself back in this ball game. The challenge is pulling down those rebounds.
Yeah, that, and they've got to keep these guards from getting free runs to the basket. They're really good in going to the basket.
On the other side,
defense.
Pratt able to disrupt Johnson, and now it's Adamson throws it away.
The one thing you're not seeing in this game that you're so accustomed to seeing with the Paris Wildcats team is Bob getting to the basket. He's only driven to the basket once so far. That zone is just keeping him out on the perimeter.
Johnson pulls back, can't get it to go.
Nice.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. Pinkston up 21-14. We will be right back here on Game Day.
At Raffaele Property Management, keeping our tenants comfortable is a top priority. That's why we trust Lone Star Heat and Air. They've always been dependable, quick to respond, and their work is top-notch. Whether it's routine service or an urgent call, they take care of it with professionalism and care. We couldn't recommend Lone Star Heat and Air more for anyone looking for a reliable HVAC service. At Raffaele Property Management.
And we're back here on Game Day. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Paris ISD, putting up for these young men here tonight. Stephen Johnston, Alan Gooding, Paris and Pinkston just went back and forth to open this game up, and then Pinkston able to go on a little bit of a run, and that's where we're at here, 21-14. Vikings leading your Paris Wildcats.
Both teams have hit some threes, but the difference is Pinkston getting to the basket, getting easy baskets. Paris has not had anything easy to this point. Seven Reed is still in the game. Yeah, Seven's still in the game. I thought Seven would be an X factor in this game because of his length and his ability to guard about 4 spots.
And this time, Paris able to clear the board. Henderson went to Adamson, now Hendo to Pratt. Back to Henderson and over to Seven. Pratt, he'll drive, put a shot up, can't get it to roll, and Pinkston clears the board.
Getting in the gaps that zone, they're just not making any mid-range shots at this point. They're tough shots, but Paris has got to make that.
Heath headed back to the scorer's table as Johnson looking to distribute the ball. Goes over to Anderson, and once again, Paris clearing the board on the defensive side. That's a good sign. Into the corner, Adamson will drive, up and under.
That's a big basket, not only because of the 2 points, but the way they got it. We need more of that.
So Paris went down 9 at one point, has trimmed it to 5. And
nice
on the
defense.
other side, 7 Reed, and they'll get the foul on the second attempt. Well, let's see, that's going to go against 7.
The one thing 7 does bring, I mean, he's young and he can jump out of the gym, but the long arms and athletic ability, kind of a Scottie Pippen type defender. He can make a difference in this game because of that length and guarding these post players.
Fight, first shot off the mark.
Wildcats number 23, Tyler Lee, and for the Vikings number 0, Pregame.
Second shot from Fight, gets it to roll home. So Pratt over to Heath, down to Hendo on the baseline.
I would love to see Hendo flash into the high post and go to work.
And now losing the ball out of bounds. It'll go over to Pinkston, and Paris has a couple of times handed it back over to the Vikings on some errant passes. One thing about Pinkston, I think that the depth may be similar between these two teams. Is that one off the mark and batted around. Pinkston comes up with it.
Yeah,
Corner 3 coming, no good, and Fight pulls down the board. Long triple, can't get it, and here comes a 2-on-2 game to Hendo, and he gets it to go. Smart. I know that your adrenaline's pumping. You got an opportunity for the dunk. He saw it wasn't necessarily there and just laid it up.
I think Paris getting out in transition
and
would help this team.
Man, that's a tough call. Tyler Heath is hounding, and I know the Paris fans do not like that call at all. And that's going to be the second against Tyler Heath. And I think the challenging part is, down in the paint, they're able to play, and now you're going to get an illegal screen, and Pinkston's going to hold their arms up just the same as the Paris crowd just did.
Yep.
And that's the confusing part whenever first quarter, we're banging down in the paint, and then second quarter we get some touchy whistles.
Got Savage flashing inside out.
Shores, triple, can't get it to go. Savage, offensive rebound. And goes out to Hendo. Back to Savage. Turn around, shot up. Can't get it to go, but he'll head to the free throw line.
The middle of that zone is open, but Paris has got to convert from those mid-range shots or get a head fake and dip under and shoot a layup.
Savage first shot, bounces off. Second attempt coming for Braden. Gets it to go. So Paris has fought back. They were down 21-14 at the end of the quarter. And once down by 9, here comes a 3 ball and just, 3 free throws coming.
You hate that. I mean, it's tough when you're defending that because your momentum is going towards a guy, and sometimes it's just hard to stay out of the halo, as they call it. But with a shorter player like that, just get your hands up.
And the bigger challenge now is that's the third against Jadrian Henderson. Second free throw on the way for Pinkston, and they send everybody back.
Yeah, they've done that on a couple of occasions.
And Coach Hales, now they changed it to 2 fouls for Hendo, and I didn't remember the third, but initially it said 3. As Pinkston knocks down all 3. Bop to Shores, pump fake over to Pratt. Pratt into the corner to Hendo, driving, finishing.
That's what you want.
And that is something you would love to see all game long, just a little of old school bully ball. And now coming the other way, Hendo attacking and has it stripped, recovers, shot up and fouls.
Three-on-one, you'd love to see a little more passing than that, but it was a good result. Again, if Henderson's getting to the free throw line as many times as he has, that's usually a good sign for Paris, so we'll take it.
First shot up and good. Keyshawn Roberts checking into the game for Pratt. Second shot attempt for Henderson. Got it. Slowly coming up the middle of the court. Steps inside the three-point line, hits the 2.
Feels like a big possession.
Hendo picks it up, goes over to Shores, right back to Jadrian, and over to Bop. Got to get Adamson going.
This zone is really aggressive.
And this one's going to be off of the hands of Braden Savage.
When it's on the perimeter, it almost feels like a man defense. They're sending it so far out. But Paris just not able to get in the gaps yet successfully. Good defense from Shores.
Yeah, they've got a good defensive unit on the floor, which pretty much all their units are very good defensive units. And now a foul is going to be called, and it's going to go against Bop. So Pinkston inbound from the baseline. Right to the rim, can't get it to go. Savage emphatically pulling down the rebound. That's what I'm talking about. Bop for 3, no good. And then fighting for it, and I think it's gonna stay.
Oh my gosh. Paris crowd doesn't like that, and I don't blame them.
So with about 3 minutes left in the half, it'll be Pinkston basketball. Red Finch going to the scorer's table, set to check in. Roberts, great defense, comes up with it all the way to Adamson. Here comes Bop, gets it to go. And the Wildcats down by a pair, and they have been suffocating on the defensive side. Keyshawn Roberts, a big part of that defensive possession. Long 3 for Pinkston and got it. That was ice cold.
That's just a good shot. I think if you're Coach Hales, you'll take a 24-foot 3.
Bop can't get the mid-ranger to go. And I think after the Pinkston player kind of went to the ground, you find yourself a little more wide open than you expect, and you start aiming rather than shooting.
Yep.
Long 3, no good. Savage, and it just kind of finds its way back to a Pinkston player. On the other, loses handle on the ball and a foul is called. And this one is going to go against Keyshawn Roberts. Johnson's a very good player, very quick first step.
Really good control going to the basket, and is just so strong, can absorb contact.
Off front iron, Red checking into the game. Savage will come out.
A very different player. I mean, he's the same position as Bop. Very different player than Bop, though. More of a bull going into the basket, where Bop's more of a finesse player, uses his body control.
Roberts to Hendo, and saves it from going into the back court. Henderson will pull up on the trail three, no good. And then ball on the floor. Meanwhile, there's Shores hounding on the other side, and man, that call was made off the reaction of the player rather than the official seeing it.
He was not going to make a call at all.
He was not.
No.
The player reached up to his face, and the official more or less said, well, I guess he was fouled.
He must be hurt.
He must have been fouled. And by all means, it probably is the right call, but you have to call that based off what you see.
I agree. I don't think he was going to make that call at all until the reaction from the Pinkston guard.
And so that'll be shots for Pinkston, as you're going to have Reed along with Pratt. And it'll be shots for Pinkston. At the stripe is going to be Anderson. His first shot up and good. You know, just as we mentioned that Paris, their little bit of saving grace has been some free throws, especially in that first quarter. Pinkston has done a good job at the stripe as well.
Yeah, they have.
On the other side, Roberts in the corner to Adamson, over to Seven. Seven takes a bump and then backs it out and goes to Bop. Skip
Nice
pass.
pass.
Keyshawn pulls the three. Can't get it to go. Seven pulls it down and gets the second chance.
Length and athleticism, that's what Seven Reed brings to the court.
And then on the other end, I'll tell you, Johnson.
Paris is going to have to help on that kid.
Pratt, three, way off the mark. Didn't look like he really set himself. And on the other end, no good. Moving the ball around, ball fake, shot up and good. Oh, that hurts. And that's how the half will end, with Pinkston knocking down a triple and taking a double-digit lead. We're going to be right back here on Game Day.
Ready to rep your school and your wallet?
I'm here to open a student account and score that sweet school debit card.
With no monthly fees, mobile banking, and a debit card that shows your school pride, our student account is built for your game plan.
Get in the game. Open yours today.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
Sorry you're under the weather, Susie. Here are those loan docs.
Thanks, James. I'm so glad we didn't have to delay this closing.
Tissue?
Thanks.
secure and safe loan closings, or take care of just about any banking task. Experience the credit union difference. Anytime, anywhere. With RRCU's digital banking. Do you RRCU?
At Moore Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Paris, we can make your next vehicle purchase simple, stress-free, and built around you. Whether you're looking for a rugged Ram truck, an adventurous Jeep, or a quality pre-owned, we have the right vehicle for you at the right price. And with over 700 five-star reviews, our customers know that our friendly, knowledgeable staff is here for you. So come see us off the Loop in Paris, Texas, and for more details, visit moorecdjr.com. At Moore Chrysler Dodge.
And we're back here on Game Day. We'd like to thank our premier sponsor for this postseason, and that is Texas Furniture and Appliance. Austin Anthony, thank you so very much. And, you know, Texas Furniture was pretty much the ones who helped get this going. You know, I sat down with Austin back in probably July or so, and he was familiar with what they did in Texarkana and in Longview. And more or less, he was like, do you think you could do that? And I didn't know, to be honest. I didn't know if I could do what those guys do. They're so incredibly good in Texarkana and Longview Game Day. But I knew that we needed something for our athletes that promoted them, that gives them the exposure. Austin knew that as well, and he jumped in with me, and I greatly appreciate Texas Furniture and Appliance.
Great group of guys. I really love the commercials they do during the games, and you've done a great job. The product that you're doing is as good, if not better, than what they're doing in Texarkana, and you're right.
Oh boy.
The Paris athletes need the exposure and are getting it through this medium, and you're doing a great job with it.
So the Paris Wildcats down 10, 37, 27, and really it was like the last 2 minutes of that quarter. Paris had done a phenomenal job. Start of the second, you know, they had gone down by 9 in that first quarter, down 7 to open the second quarter, and cut it down to 2. And Pinkston just able to make that run, knocking down free throws, knocking down three-pointers. The rebound, I think, was much better in the second quarter. Still something that hindered them a little bit down the stretch in that final 2 minutes. But nonetheless, this is the type of team, the Paris Wildcats, that this is not by any means insurmountable. It doesn't feel like a world of momentum despite the 3 with about 2 seconds remaining from Pinkston. I think that this is a Paris Wildcat team that can overcome this type of adversity.
Sure. The difference has been from the three-point line. Paris got the 3 quick ones from Tyler Heath. But aside from that, I don't think they've had a player hit a 3. Pinkston has had several guys hit multiple 3s. There was at least one 4-point play attempt. I don't remember if he made the free throw or not. Another player got fouled at the three-point line, and several made shots. That's been the difference. Paris has worked harder on the boards. That was a detriment early, but they've gotten that cleaned up. But this is a tough team, and like you said, it's not insurmountable. A couple of quick baskets, a couple of 3s, you're right back in it. 10 points is not a big deal for this team, but they're going to have to clean some things up. They're going to have to make some shots.
And when they went down 9, you see how hard they had to work to get back to, you know, cutting it down to a one-possession game. And it didn't take just an incredible amount of time, right? About, 5 minutes, 4 minutes left in the second quarter is about whenever they were able to cut it down to a one-possession game, go back and forth a little bit, and then Pinkston makes their run down the stretch. But like you said, it's going to come down to some shot making. There's been some opportunities mid-range that Paris didn't connect on. They've done a phenomenal job out in transition whenever they've had that opportunity. And then they've done a really good job whenever they get to the basket. And I love the depth. I love the defense. Even though the score would reflect a 74-point pace for Pinkston, I love the defensive effort that we've seen from the Paris Wildcats and the depth that they can go down the roster when it comes to those kids guarding.
Yeah, Paris is a very good defensive team. Great effort from Tyler Heath early. He was hustling all over the court. Again, Bob Hendo, everybody on the floor is a good defender. Paris is coached very, very well in that regard. They just got to make some shots. They're playing well enough to win this game. What it comes down to in the game of basketball, more often than not, is one team making shots and another team not. And right now, Paris just needs to make a few more, but they've got time to do it.
And so, like you said, it's going to come down to shot making. And, you know, Jason Pratt, a young man who shot around 45% from three in the regular season. He's also a great mid-range shooter, a bit of a lost art in the game of basketball this day and age. That's someone that you would really like to get going. Obviously, Pinkston does a good job of guarding the perimeter, and I think that's where your 7-read, where your tandem of Hendo and Bop come into play. There's still threats from the outside, but those three guys are phenomenal at driving to the rack, and Hendo has gotten there, you know, but we need Bop, we need 7 to be that as well.
What I would love to see is on the offensive end, Paris to move the ball around the perimeter inside and out much quicker. That's going to free up some driving lanes. That's going to free up some shots. But if you pass the ball slow against this zone, they will extend it and extend it and extend it. And it feels like they're guarding you at the timeline because they are. But they've got to extend that thing to the middle, move it in and out quickly, and get some good looks. And I think that's probably what Coach Hales is telling them right now. Let's move it quickly. Let's shift this defense and play our game.
All right, we're going to step aside, and when we come back, we've got third quarter action for you from the regional semifinals at Anna High School. Paris, Pinkston, here on Game Day.
Yay! We're so excited you decided to become a member.
Thanks. I didn't think it would be this easy.
I know. We've opened up memberships so even more people can take advantage of our amazing services.
Are you going to clean this up?
Become a new member and take advantage of all RRCU can offer. Experience the credit union difference anytime, anywhere.
No, seriously, are you going to clean this up?
Do you RRCU?
We're here at the biggest game of the year for the kickoff. And I say these local guys have no competition, John.
No doubt, Stephen. Why sweat in the press box?
When you can sit like a king.
And we got the best seats in the house right here, baby.
Where every seat is the best seat.
Oh yeah, Texas Furniture and Appliance. Local since 1927.
These players are definitely in their comfort zone.
You say something?
Keeping our tenants comfortable is a top priority. That's why we trust Lone Star Heat and Air. They've always been dependable, quick to respond, and their work is top-notch. Whether it's routine service or an urgent call, they take care of it with professionalism and care. We couldn't recommend Lone Star Heat and Air more for anyone looking for a reliable HVAC service.
And back here on Game Day, Stephen Johnson, Alan Gooding. We'd like to thank our sponsor, let's see, Gooding Title Company.
I've heard of those guys.
Heard of those guys. What do they do?
Not much. We broadcast basketball games.
We broadcast
That's
basketball.
what we do.
There you go.
That's what my staff thinks we do lately. It's more fun.
Third quarter action getting set to be underway as Paris huddled up on their sideline. Pinkston with a 10-point lead. And, you know, a couple of things we were talking about, you know, just kind of what the Paris Wildcats need to do. And to me, defensively, the only things that really I think have hindered them a little bit are the rebounding, which we talked about, and then, you know, stopping Johnson from getting to the rack. He's got such a phenomenal first step. It's really tough, and when he gives a ball fake and takes off, I don't know that Paris has seen that type of quickness since maybe pre-district perhaps, as they're going to come out with their original starting 5. Shores, Bop, Hendo, Savage, and Heath.
No, they haven't seen a guard like this. They played some good guards in district, but none like Johnson.
Bop out of the gate, pulls down for Pinkston. fired a three-pointer. And on the other side, Heath hits the deck, and a three coming for Pinkston, no good. Shores with the board. Heath, he'll drive, and little grab on the wrist. That's going to go against Perkins. And it'll stay with the Paris Wildcats. Bop to inbound from the baseline. Heath in the corner, steps up, pulls the trigger, no good. Savage turning and firing.
If you get a few of those, that'll get you back in it.
We talked about the rebounding. That's what Braden brings.
It's good to see Savage involved on the offensive end. Again, you got to keep your feet moving in front of this guard.
Johnson guarded by Shores. Shot up, no good. Savage again. Savage to Hendo. Over to Bop. Ball fake. And then to Shores. Brandon pulls a three. Got it!
That's
and a
huge.
Quick timeout. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
Ready to rep your school and your wallet?
I'm here to open a student account and score that sweet school debit card.
With no monthly fees, mobile banking, and a debit card that shows your school pride, our student account is built for your game plan.
Get in the game. Open yours today.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
Out of the timeout, Paris cuts it down to 5. Heath defensively doing a phenomenal job.
Will help.
To the wing, Henderson stays down, and now they're going to call an illegal screen or a push.
Not sure what that was. They're saying he stepped out of.
Well, coach is going to get an explanation. Probably not one that he'll like. Bop on the other end. To Heath. Pump fake, he'll drive, get to the rack, can't get it to go, and there's 3 Pinkston Vikings there. On the other end, 3 ball no good. Bop pulls it down. To the rack. Boom!
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Keaton, Bop, Adamson. The circus, the big top is in Anna.
Well, it looks like a circus, but Adamson is in control when he takes those shots. He's got phenomenal body control. He's moving his arms around, he's contorting his body, but that's a high percentage shot for him. He's just a phenomenal basketball player who can get to the basket with anybody.
And with a shot to go to make it a 3-point play, can't hit it. Loose ball. There's Bop, and it'll go out of bounds.
Stays here.
Stays with the Paris Wildcats. And so technically there was no possession change. You have an opportunity to cut it to 1 or tie. And just some miscommunication between Bop and Savage.
Well, you needed to get Bop going. He's going. You needed a 3 from somebody other than Tyler Heath. You've had that. And you needed good defense, and they've had that. This is just a phenomenal first 2.5 minutes from Paris. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Oh, come on, go.
And they're going to say that Tyler Heath got at least enough of that, and that one's swatted. You got to pull down a rebound. It's going to stay with Pinkston despite the great defensive effort from Paris, and now an offensive foul.
Great hustle. I've heard it said defense is often about 70 to 80% effort, and that showed on that sequence. Paris is working their tails off on the defensive end. It's paying off.
As a matter of fact, Pinkston has yet to score.
Yeah, it's 7-0 out of the break.
Bob pulls up, can't knock down Pinkston, running the other way.
That's
and a travel.
Yeah.
No foul.
Oh.
On the floor.
I thought we were going to get steps out of that.
It was awfully close.
Referees are talking about it. Nope, staying here.
And you know, the reason you might have had steps is because there was a foul.
True.
Trying to keep it all fair here in the commentary.
And it is hard to officiate when athletes are moving that fast. It's not an easy thing to do.
Pinkston on the inbound. Pratt alters that shot. And just the second chance opportunities, Pratt comes away with it and is hounded, and a foul.
Okay. Poor Jason was thinking, okay, go ahead and call it any time.
At any moment, sir.
He got bumped 3 or 4 times, and he finally got the whistle.
Heath for 3. Can't get it to go. Good look. And a nice shot. Just didn't fall for him. And then a travel. Out to Heath, into the corner to Bop. Ball kind of loose on the floor. Skip pass over to Keaton. Bop has it blocked and ripped away by Pinkston. On the other end, Heath comes up with the steal. He'll pull up, can't get it to go. And timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. It's a 3-point ball game. And we'll be right back here on Game Day.
Sorry you're under the weather, Susie. Here are those loan docs.
Thanks, James. I'm so glad we didn't have to delay this closing.
Tissue?
Thanks.
Secure and safe loan closings, or take care of just about any banking task. Experience the credit union difference. Anytime, anywhere. With RRCU's digital banking. Do you RRCU?
And we're back here on Game Day. Stephen Johnston, Alan Gooding.
Well, if you'd have said before the game started, Coach Hales, in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, you're going to hold Pinkston scoreless. Will you take that? He would have said absolutely. And that's what's happened.
That is precisely what has occurred.
Pinkston has yet to score. Paris has lately missed some shots they would like to make. But defense wins championships, it has been said. And right now, Paris is playing championship level defense. Got Red Finch in for Savage, I believe.
And it'll be Pinkston basketball out of the break, and he moved. He can't move on the baseline. And that'll go over to the Wildcats. You are set on the baseline.
Yeah, that's basketball 101.
Going into Pratt in the corner. Pratt spinning, handling, turning, firing. Can't get it to go. Tough shot. And on the other side, here comes Pinkston. As you said, they can score in flurries, as we've seen, and have yet to put up a single point here in the third quarter as Adamson pulls down that rebound. Hendo to Bop. Bop driving, puts up a shot, and it. Oh. Man, you had a pair of fouls that just went uncalled.
I really thought Finch got pushed in the back.
Finch got nailed in the back.
Usually you get an elbow in the back on the small of the back, and the guy goes flying, you get that call, but Finch did not.
So instead, it'll be Pinkston basketball. And a three coming their way off the mark. Hendo pulls it down. Heath on the other side.
Where you're thinking that's a shot a postman doesn't need to take. Henderson can make that shot. That's not a bad shot for him. It didn't work out that time, but you'll take that. It's a clean look. You want Henderson shooting that.
So on the other side, Pinkston, who have missed a few threes, and I think they're going to get Hendo with a foul. That's going to be his third. And then finally some life from the Pinkston offense.
Pratt coming out of the game had a really good effort on defense, was just hounding the ball handler for Pinkston. Great sequence by Pratt.
Shot no good. And Paris pulls down the board. Reed driving sideline. Hendo goes into Red. Red gets it to roll home.
I'm surprised Hendo's still out there with his third foul, but Coach Hale's trying to squeeze a few minutes out of him.
Went a long time between his second and his third. And that's just the case. I think Rolo, you would like for someone to be there to help him.
Yeah. That's almost like a post-up. That's not a very tall player, but he's really strong. 7
on the wing. Passes off, Hendo, top of the key, no good. And then, let's see what this is going to be. It looked like Red's fighting for the ball. A Pinkston player falls on top of him.
I didn't see what the call was. I thought we were going to get a jump ball out of that.
And I think that, I think it should be a jump ball, if anything, which would go over to Pinkston. And that's what it'll be. Because if there's a foul, it's going to be the guy falling on Red Finch.
Well, that's a great effort by Finch. That'll pay off the next time there is a tied-up ball. It'll go to Paris.
So the Wildcats, who entered the quarter down 10, cut it down to 3, now trailing by 5.
Good help by
Good
Finch.
help by Finch, yeah. Great defense from Hendo, and bailout.
Yeah.
That's going to be the 4th against
that's
Hendo.
A killer. That's a killer.
Because there just isn't much there, and he's not under control in his shot. He's looking for that foul.
Yeah, he was leaning forward.
Leaning forward, yeah, exactly. He's not out there to shoot the basketball to make a 3. He's out there to draw Hendo to hit him.
But that's basketball.
Sure.
Yeah, you've almost got to get Hendo out of the game at this point. But Coach Hales is riding with him. No, he's coming out now.
And, you know, Pinkston, they've shot a lot of free throws tonight. They've made a lot of free throws to their credit. And just when it was, you know, we were talking about cutting it down to one possession, and now all of a sudden it's kind of starting to blossom back up.
Yeah, Paris went on a flurry, and they've hit a cold spot. And you're going to see Seven Reed. He's going to need to play the 4 now. He can play a different position on defense, but he's going to need to guard down low, and he's going to need to pull down some boards.
So Pratt, Bop, Red, Heath, as Bop, one dribble, scoots over. Here's Heath with a 3, can't get it to go. He hit those 3 at the very beginning of the game, and it's been tough sledding on the outside jumpers ever since. On the other side, this one going over to the Paris Wildcats. Trailing by 8.
I feel like you really need a basket here. You don't want this to be another 10-point game at the end of the third.
Seven over to Pratt. And I tell you what, Pinkston, they will try to sell it without question. Pratt backed in the corner. It'll stay with the Paris Wildcats. And we've got a timeout with just a little over 20 seconds remaining. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
Yay! We're so excited you decided to become a member.
Thanks. I didn't think it would be this easy.
I know. We've opened up memberships so even more people can take advantage of our amazing services.
Are you going to clean this up?
Become a new member and take advantage of all RRCU can offer. Experience the credit union difference anytime, anywhere.
No, seriously, are you going to clean this up?
Do you RRCU?
Here on Game Day, Stephen Johnston, Alan Gooding. We'd like to thank Quality Care ER for bringing us out here tonight. And Paris trailing by 8. And they have not led in this game. And I'll tell you this, they have overcome some adversity all throughout the season, but no bigger time than now.
No, this is do or die. But this is an experienced group. It's a mature group. It's a group that plays hard for each other. And they know that they're going to have to put up an effort, and I think they're up to it. I would love to see this go in somebody's hands and right back to Bop.
And that's exactly what happens to Pratt, right back to Bop. About 15 seconds. Bop gets the shot up, and foul is called.
That's a good result.
And, you know, for a high school kid, even though he's a senior, been on varsity a number of years, you could apply the term veteran move.
Yeah. Well, very few people can get to the basket at this level the way Bop Adamson can. And I think that's what Coach Hales drew up. Look, we got to get the ball inbounds back to Adamson, let him go create. 7 red, crash the boards.
First shot, up and good. So Paris, you know, barring something, you know, kind of crazy, they're going to win the quarter. And that's more or less precisely what you needed. You've got an uphill battle going into the fourth as Bop gets ready for his second and cuts it down to 6.
Big defensive sequence here.
Cross midcourt, driving to the basket and gets the shot to go. Huge, yeah. Bop from midcourt at the buzzer, no good. And Paris going into quarter number 4, trailing by 8. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
At Moore Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Paris, we can make your next vehicle purchase simple, stress-free, and built around you. Whether you're looking for a rugged Ram truck, an adventurous Jeep, or a quality pre-owned, we have the right vehicle for you at the right price. And with over 700 five-star reviews, our customers know that our friendly, knowledgeable staff is here for you. So come see us off the Loop in Paris, Texas, and for more details, visit morecdjr.com. At More.
And we are back here on Game Day. Stephen Johnston, Alan Gooding. We'd like to thank Paris ISD for having us out here today. And Paris ISD has been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys so very much. And as I said, Paris won the quarter. They came in down 10, now down 8. You would have loved to have finished that quarter. That's something that Pinkston has been really good at here today, is finishing out the quarter.
Yeah. Pinkston plays phenomenal defense, as does Paris. That was really a tale of 2 4-minute sequences. Paris on the first 4, Pinkston on the second 4.
Still no Hendo, 7. The three-pointer has gone absolutely cold for Paris ever since Brandon Shores hit his. On the other side, Pinkston. Mid-range jumper on the way, no good. Reed pulls down the rebound, ahead to Pratt, and he's going to the basket, and it's going to be a foul and a goaltend.
Oh, wow. Huge play.
Count the basket, and Jason Pratt headed to the stripe.
Again, when Paris gets out and runs, good things happen. Pratt is one of the better finishers on the court. Paid off there.
And at least in Division I, I don't know if there's anybody better in the state at getting out and running than the Paris Wildcats. Shot up, and it rolls out. Rare free throw miss from the Paris Wildcats here tonight in Anna.
Nice help.
Great help from Heath. Johnson, and now has it poked away, but yes, contact. That'll be the first team foul. It's on the floor. Pinkston will take it out from their own baseline. Shot up, no good. Ripping it away from Savage and going to the free throw line. And a second whistle. I'm not sure what that one was, but that's going to go against Braden Savage, and it'll be free throws coming up for Pinkston. Savage's second. And now, first shot off the mark. And hold your breath, because you need Hendo to play with 4 fouls for about 7 minutes.
I just think Coach Hale said play hard but be smart.
Knocks down the second. Paris coming the other way. Bop finds himself alone, hits it! What is dead may never die.
You needed something there. You needed a spark from 3.
And you got it.
First one from Bob tonight.
You got it from the captain. Pratt, phenomenal defense. Great defense from Hendo. And a long, wild shot. Rebounded by Pinkston. And a foul. That foul may not be so bad, as Fight would have had a clear look at the basket otherwise. That's going to be the second on Bop. The problem, though, that's the third team foul. You're 6 minutes and 20-something seconds still to go in the game. So you don't want to enter a territory where Pinkston is shooting a lot of free throws. 5-point ball game as Fight shoots and knocks down the second to make it 6. On the other side, Bop to Pratt. Pratt driving, spinning, loses the handle. And now taken away, and what a great play by Tyler Heath.
What a smart play. Oh, wow.
You talk about moxie. That's Coach Hohenberger's word for him, moxie.
He's got it. He was using his brain and his body. He was in the right place at the right time. Got the ball, knew what to do with it.
Now Adamson, he'll pull the trigger again, got it! Go away, the Wildcats won't.
You needed a big play from your big senior captain. You got it.
Oh, no. And Bob, I believe, just fouled out. I mean, excuse me, Hendo.
That hurts, but.
And I saw the reaction from Bop at midcourt, knowing that Hendo is headed to the bench. That's maybe not by blood, but that's his brother, man.
Yeah, you hate to see that. You just feel for that kid. You want him on the floor at the end no matter what the result is.
Phenomenal defense and a foul called. It looked like Fight kind of did a hop on one foot, but no call, and he'll head to the free throw line. That's just tough. And they're hearing it from this Paris crowd.
Yeah. You know, there is a level of gamesmanship that goes into basketball. You talked about selling calls. There is a little bit of that goes on.
Shot up and good.
These guys have watched a lot of LeBron James tapes. I'll say that much.
And I don't doubt that it was a foul. It's just the shuffling and hopping of the feet beforehand.
Right.
That's what makes it hard to swallow. Second shot is good. So Bop, Finch, Shores, Heath, and Savage. Shores will pull, can't get it to go. And then a leak out on the other side, and they got it. Timeout, Pinkston. We're gonna take a timeout with them. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
Ready to rep your school and your wallet?
I'm here to open a student account and score that sweet school debit card.
With no monthly fees, mobile banking, and a debit card that shows your school pride, our student account is built for your game plan.
Get in the game. Open yours today.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
And we're back here on Game Day. Stephen Johnston, Alan Gooding. And Alan, this has been pretty much how the game has gone from start until present time.
Right.
Paris fell behind a little bit early, and every time they've battled back, cut it to 2, cut it to 3. Here comes Pinkston.
Yeah, Paris just can't close it out to less than about 3 or 4 points. But they're not out of it. 7-point game is not insurmountable. You feel like you need the ball in Bop's hands a lot. He's got the hot hand right now. But they're going to have to hit the boards. Red and 7. 7's not in the game, though.
Savage. Red and Savage are going to have to be the ones.
Get on the boards.
Shores in the corner to Bop. He'll drive, sidestep, shot up, can't get it to go. And that is, that kind of unique step down in the paint is a specialty of his, just didn't finish. Johnson guarded by Shores, passes off. And now Pinkston looking like they're trying to take a little bit of time, a little bit of air out of this thing.
Not sure it's quite that time yet, but Paris needs to put the ball in the basket. They're playing good enough defense to win. They're just not making quite enough shots.
You had Pratt substituting in and a shot to the rim, and suddenly it's a 9-point game. As Pratt goes down to Savage, can't get it to go. And again, that's Savage's shot. And no good. Lost the handle on it again. Like you said, selling it. As Pratt gets inside, shot up. Circus is in town. Jason Pratt, my goodness.
He fought through a lot of contact to get to the rim. He earned that shot. That was a good, hard, aggressive basketball move.
Kick out, 3 ball from Pinkston on the way, no good. High arcing rebound, and then a push off. That's gonna go over to the Paris Wildcats.
Is that Savage on the receiving end of that?
I think it was Shores.
Well, Shores took some lessons from the salesmanship. We'll use that word. That was good.
Heath out on the wing, fires a pass down to Savage, and then he turns it over, and you got a free runner, and it will stay with
Good job by
Pinkston.
Heath did just enough to keep that going out of bounds from being an easy layup.
Red checking in. Savage headed to the bench. Or it'll be Pratt headed to the bench, rather. And I think that Coach Hales figured, you know, we got to have some rebounding out there, and foul called. And Pinkston has shot a lot of free throws here tonight.
They're getting into on the block and just going up strong. And Paris has defensed it well. They're just putting Paris in a position where they have to foul a lot.
And I also, let's see. Officials get together and discuss what there is to eat in Anna, Texas. Second shot on the way and good. Pratt attacking. And it's poked away and will stay with the Wildcats. And I think we've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. Crunch time. We're headed down the stretch here on Game Day.
We're here at the biggest game of the year for the kickoff. And I say these local guys have no competition, John.
No doubt, Stephen. Why sweat in the press box?
When you can sit like a king.
And we got the best seats in the house right here, baby.
Where every seat is the best seat.
Oh yeah, Texas Furniture and Appliance. Local since 1927.
These players are definitely in their comfort zone.
You say something?
Tonight's premier sponsor is Texas Furniture and Appliance. Thank you to those guys for making it possible for us to bring you Paris Wildcat playoff basketball. Stephen Johnston, Alan Gooding, and Alan, we've got about 3 minutes remaining. Down 9. Paris has done a phenomenal job of closing those gaps and not letting them get any wider. getting over that hump when you get to that 2 or 3 point mark deficit is really what has been the challenge.
Yeah, they're going to have to somehow keep Pinkston out of the lane, off the block, and just try to get some quick points. A timely 3 would not hurt at all, but it's going to have to come from Bob Adamson. I think that's the catalyst right now.
Bob with it in his hands, gives a fake, gets inside, shot up, and draws the foul again. We talk about that veteran savvy of his.
With 2:50 left, scoring with the clock not running is a great thing. So getting to the line is good. And that's a 4th foul on number 15.
That's Coleman Obi.
Yeah.
Paris, who's been playing without Hendo for since the 5-minute mark.
Again, you get it to 7, get a stop. Get it to 5 or 4, you got a game.
Shot up and good. So on the other side, one thing, they have been able to quiet Johnson, who had a monster first half, as he goes to the rim, shot up and good. And just like that, Johnson gets a free run.
He's just so good at the basket, so strong.
Bop, sidestep, scoop, gets it to go, and count it. Wow. How incredible is Keaton Bop Adamson? You've still got a long way to go, but you've got your leader on the floor doing what he does.
You know, put yourself in that kid's shoes. He knows that in order to overcome this deficit, it's going to have to fall on him. And he's not afraid of the moment.
Shot up, can't hit, but rebound to Savage. And wow, no call as Savage hits the deck.
That's all I can say is wow.
And then a push off on the inbound, but you know, and then a sell as Shores tries to guard him.
They're going to play a little stall ball.
As they should. Johnson with Paris trailing by 7. And Paris doing a good job defensively, but Pinkston with no interest in attacking, and now Paris will foul. And Pratt will check back in. You need some offense. Pratt can provide that. You also need a couple of missed free throws, and that's not something Pinkston has done tonight.
No, they've made, oh, there you go, you got one.
By sports rules, and that jinx, okay, got the first one, right, got the first jinx. Now,
let's see what you can do on the second one.
I think the rule says that you have to say,
somebody was throwing something on the court?
No, they had their flashlight turned on their phone, trying to record. So second shot coming, and it's off the mark.
Good job, Stephen.
Well, I decided not to say anything. Pratt crossing over, rising, shooting, can't get it to go, and the rebound over to Pinkston. And now baseball toss down the court, and Pinkston decides to pull it back. Fight over to Warren, and they get it over to Perkins. And now a foul is going to be called, and that'll send Pinkston to the line. Should be their 15th foul. Paris has been absolutely incredible defensively here in the second half. Offense has been hard to come by.
It's just they've been offense has been tough to come by. They've just been beaten on the block a little bit, and a lot of that had to do with no Hendo for the last 5 minutes.
Shot up and good.
I mean, this team's loaded with talent, but Henderson is one of your best players, if not your best player, and just a kind of a spiritual leader of this team. With him out on the floor, it takes a lot out of you.
Second shot up and good. So Shores to Pratt to Bop. Bop sidestep, gets it to go. And Pinkston in the corner, and a foul called, and this is just going to have to be what it is for the remainder of this game.
Credit to Pinkston. This is a good ball handling team.
Yes,
very good ball handling. They have not made many. They made a few unforced errors early in the third quarter, but they don't make many mistakes bringing the ball up the court. That's the reason when you get a lead like this, they typically hang on to it. And this is a third place team in their district. That tells you how tough that district is.
Well, the thing about that is I believe they split with a very good Kimball team.
Yeah, and they're going to probably get another chance on Friday.
Under a minute to go. Pratt over to Heath. Heath ball fake, steps back, fires, and that one nearly went. Travel. No, foul is going to be called.
And it's shots like that. It was a good shot from Heath. Just bounced in and out. Paris has just not gotten those to go down tonight. Sometimes it just doesn't roll for you. Those are good shots. Paris has made them all year. Tonight they just weren't falling as much as they have been. And that's a lot to do with the opposition. Credit to Pinkston.
Shot up and good. And again, that's really, when you talk about it, you know, I'll get the numbers from Coach Hales. Pinkston has shot a lot of free throws here tonight, and they've made a lot of them. That has been the biggest difference in the game, along with rebounding as Bop rises, fires, can't hit. And I think that's about going to do it. Phenomenal year, phenomenal career for Keaton Bop Adamson, for Jadrian Henderson, the other seniors on this team, Red Finch.
And their career is not over. Those guys will both play college basketball.
Absolutely. Brandon Shores, Keyshawn Roberts, Jamari Nickerson. And that is tough to swallow. But at the same time, this is a season that this team can hold their head up high and be incredibly proud of. And make no mistake, despite losing those leaders, those seniors, Paris will be back.
Oh yeah, it rolls from one year to the next. They've got a lot of talent coming back. The program is good. Future is bright. It's always fun to watch. And I want to thank you for letting me go along for the ride with you, Stephen.
Absolutely, Alan.
I've done a lot of these games with you. I've enjoyed every second of it. Thank you. I would not have gotten to take the ride with this team if you hadn't brought me along, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. Thank you guys so very much for joining. For Alan Gooding, for Ava Langley, our producer, Brittany Young on the cameras, Todd Coleman as well. We thank